Silence. Like a pulse, hidden in darkness. Pressure building underneath the skin. Trains screaming through black tunnels. Signal lights flickering without rhythm. Every reflection feels emotionally distant, like the city erased its own humanity. Static underneath exhausted eyes, cold sweat running through heavy air. Even breathing feels synthetic, now mechanical, numb, disconnected. Pulse accelerating, signal collapsing. No silence inside the transmission. Concrete floors shaking beneath black smoke. Bass pressure flooding through steel walls. Dark figures moving under red strobes, like hypnotized ghosts inside machinery. Acid distortion ripping through the warehouse, like fear transformed into sound waves. Everything feels colder tonight. Cold lights, cold air, cold signal feels different tonight. Colder. Slower. Unstable. Silent buildings, train vibrations underneath cracked concrete, static pressure hanging through the skyline. Every window looks emotionally empty, like the city shut itself down. Dead frequencies moving through dark hallways, mechanical echoes beneath steel ceilings. Corrupted signal, frozen pulse, pressure crawling through the transmission. Underground chamber smoke spiraling beneath red emergency strobes. Bodies moving like shadow machinery, lost inside hypnotic repetition. Acid frequencies tearing through darkness like electrical fractures through steel veins. Nobody speaks inside this warehouse. Only movement, only shadows, only baseline shaking the floor. Cold. Transmission, cold. Transmission, signal, lost. Signal, lost. Platforms under flickering lights, distorted faces inside moving trains. Every reflection feels emotionally distant, like sleep disappeared from the city. Static underneath exhausted eyes, electric tension beneath pale skin. Even breathing sounds synthetic now, mechanical, frozen, disconnected. Pulse fading, signal collapsing, no silence inside the transmission. Shaking steel foundations, dark silhouettes beneath is collapsing silently. Disappearing through fog, empty windows reflecting sleepless faces. Every street feels emotionally detached, like the city forgot its own pulse. Static underneath exhausted eyes, electric pressure beneath pale skin. Even silence feels artificial now, mechanical, frozen, disconnected. Pulse increasing, signal collapsing, no escape inside the transmission. Smoke flooding across warehouse floors, base pressure shaking steel foundations. Dark silhouettes under red lighting, moving through industrial shadows. Acid distortion ripping through the system like fear transformed into sound waves. Everything feels darker tonight, cold lights, cold air, cold skies. Static. skyline. The Iron District never sleeps. Industrial wastelands, every reflection feels cold and distant, like emotion dissolved into machinery. Static pressure beneath tired eyes, metal tension underneath pale skin. Even silence sounds mechanical now, industrial, restless, disconnected.